Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Book Adventure with Mrs. Mayoro. Today, I want us to talk about and learn a little bit about spiders. Right there, there's the title right there, spiders. I want you to take a few seconds and I want you to think about what you already know about spiders. I'm going to say that one more time before we get started. I want you to stop and think about the information what you already know about spiders. Do you see my thinking face? Okay. Thank you for doing that. Now, why do we want to stop and think about about things that we already know? Because it helps our brain get ready to learn about new information. It helps our brain be able to wake up and say, whoa, I already know this, and now I get to learn something different about the same topic. And our topic for today is spiders. Now, I don't have a book for us today, but I do have an article. This is called an article. Now, this article is about spiders, and it was written by Time for Kids. I love books and articles about many different things, especially that come from Time for Kids, because they really have some awesome photographs, and that's exactly what we're going to be looking at. And we're also going to be reading the text, the written text. Remember those two words, the written text, which is the words in this article. And before we jump into our article, I want us to go ahead and review our objective for today. The objective, it's right here in blue today on the corner of our whiteboard, and it is I can gather up facts. One more time, the objective for today is I can gather up facts. What does the word gather mean? The word gather means collect. We're going to pretend that our brain, it's like this little bucket, and all the facts, the information that we're going to learn about spiders, we're going to grab those facts. We're going to gather those facts and we're going to put them in our brain bucket. We're going to call our brain today the brain bucket. What is that going to do to our knowledge, to what we already know about spiders? It's going to help us remember and learn a lot more things about spiders. So one more time, gather facts means collect. We're going to learn new information about spiders, hopefully. And we're going to put them in our brain bucket. We're going to gather up those facts and we're going to remember them so we can share them with someone else. Ready? So here we go. I will start by reading the front cover, and it says Time for Kids. Can you spot the spider? Right there. You see that spider? It was hard to see, huh? Spiders, some of them have very distinct features. They can camouflage very well. We see the spider right there. Did you see the spider? Great. Spiders is the title. Spiders have sneaky ways of getting their meals. Whoa, you know what this front cover of this article, what the front cover told me? It told me that this article, it's going to be about spiders, but not about their body maybe. This information right here helps me understand that this article will be about how spiders have sneaky ways of getting their meal, of getting their food. Let's find out more about those sneaky ways. Don't forget our objective. I'm going to be going back and referencing it as we get into our discussion about how spiders get their food. Feed me. I know there's a lot of awesome photographs here, okay? But we're gonna tackle one photograph at a time, so I want your focus to be on this one here. And don't worry, yes, we will get to learn about all the other photographs that we have on this article. So just follow along and try to be just a little patient. Interesting information. There's our objective. I can gather up facts. Feed me. When a spider is hungry, watch out. Spiders have many amazing ways to trap insects. Some can even catch a fish. Whoa, stop right there. Did you hear that very last sentence? Some can even catch a fish? A spider can catch a fish? Wow, I did not know that. I'm going to grab this fact right here I'm gonna gather up that fact and I'm gonna try to collect it, to put it inside my bucket brain so I can remember it. And I can share that with someone I already know who would love to hear about what I just learned. This photograph right here, zoom in, right? Look how awesome that photograph is. Little tiny legs right there, but it's a spider. There's a spider right there. Spiders sneak up. The trapdoor spider builds a hole with the door. When an insect walks by, out pops the spider. Stop right there. I want you to think about what we just read about this spider right here. The written text says that this spider is called a trapdoor spider. A trapdoor spider builds a hole with the door. There's a hole. There's the door. Did you know that? Interesting, right? When an insect walks by, out pops the spider and it catches its meal. Ready? Let's go ahead and take a moment and let's gather up a fact from what we just learned about a trapdoor spider and put it in your brain bucket. Excellent. You're doing an awesome job. You are an expert. Ready? Next spider. Spiders go fishing. Whoa. Do you go fishing with somebody? Mom, dad, maybe an uncle? Because if you don't, there's some spiders that do. Let's find out how they catch their food. Spiders go fishing. The water spider floats underwater in a bubble web. It sticks out its legs to fish. Then it pulls in its meal. Let me read that one more time. The strategy that I'm using right now is rereading. There's some awesome information right here that I don't want to forget. So in order to help my brain remember it and not forget about it, I'm using the strategy to go back and reread what the text says, what the written text says. Let me read that one more time. Spiders go fishing. The water spider floats underwater in a bubble web. Wow. It sticks out its legs to fish. Then it pulls in its meal. Whoa. Another awesome, interesting spider. Do you remember what the spider's called? You remember what this one is, the trapdoor spider. But do you remember about this spider? What is its name? You got it. Right there, water spider. And one interesting fact is that it floats underwater, under the water in a bubble web. Right there. Do you see it? If you zoom in, you see the water spider in here. And there's like a bubble web. And she's inside. And then the text says when it sees its meal, what kind of meal is it? Right there. Evidence in the text. It's a fish. It sticks out its legs and it pulls its meal in. Interesting, right? Let's go ahead and stop. And let's gather up one of those facts and put it in our brain. Remember our bucket? Our bucket we're pretending our brain we're pretending is a bucket. And we're putting facts. We're gathering up facts. Good. Excellent. Moving on. This one. Oh, I noticed one thing. The moment I zoomed into this photograph right here on the bottom of page 2, I saw this spider. Looks like it's jumping or flying. I don't know. I've learned very interesting facts about those two spiders that it wouldn't surprise me if this spider right here flies. Ready? Let's find out if it's flying or jumping. Ready? Here I go. Spiders jump. Oh, right there. I don't have to read any further to know that this spider is not flying, but it is right. It is jumping. I have evidence right here in the text that says it's jumping. Still, very interesting for a spider. I see what looks to be an insect. Let's keep reading. The jumping spider spots an insect. It flies through the air. Oh, pounds. It has its dinner. What's the name of the spider? Right, jumping spider. You are listening and learning along with me. It says it's a jumping spider, and when it spots, this word spots means see. When it sees its meal or an insect, it flies through the air. Look, we know it's not really flying, right? It's jumping. It's even called a jumping spider, but here, look what the author wrote. The writer, right? The writer says it flies through the air. I wonder why the writer wrote that. Flies through the air. Let's think about that for a little. It's not flying. It doesn't have any wings. It's jumping. So how can we explain that? Interesting. You see why? It's always important to go back and read, even if we already know information about that specific animal or thing. It helps us understand what was the purpose, or what was the writer or the author thinking, or what were they wanting us to understand when they wrote certain words. Flies. Maybe it's saying it's flying because it looks like it's flying. That's just what I'm thinking. What are you thinking? Great thinking. Pounds, it has its dinner. Good. Ready? Now go ahead and stop. Think about our objective. I can gather up facts, and I want you to remember one thing about what kind of spider? Great. Correct. A jumping spider. Not a flying spider, right? That's not what it says. It's called a jumping spider, but I think we could have a really, really good discussion about why is it called the jumping spider and why the writer says flies through the air. But we may have that conversation later, or maybe that would be a great conversation for you to have with someone else in your home. Ready? Moving on. Oh, can you see the spider already? Where is it? Let's see. Spiders hide. Oh, did you know that? I knew you did. Can you see the spider on the flower? This little paragraph right here starts with the question. Sometimes paragraphs do that. They don't jump right into the facts or the information. Sometimes, many times, they start with the question. Many insects can't. The crab spider blends in. It surprises insects that drop by, then it eats them. Ooh, I already know one thing about this specific spider somewhere in here. It's called a crab spider. I've seen crabs at the beach. Have you seen crabs at the beach or maybe somewhere else on TV? Maybe on a book or on an article like this. The kind of crabs I have seen at the beach certainly are not spiders. Can you see the spider on the flower? Were you able to see the spider on the flower? I knew you would. Right there. See its long legs? Ooh, I see the eyes right there. Its little claws. Another long leg. Its body right there. Pretty interesting. It camouflages very, very well with this flower right here. And I bet that ant, does it look like an ant? Yeah, it does look like an ant. I bet this ant didn't know there was the crab spider right there waiting, right? Interesting. Ready? What's the name of this spider? Correct. Right on. A crab spider. Ready? I want you to remember one thing about the crab spider. Good. You're doing an awesome, awesome job. Ready? We're going to move on to this last section right here on page 3. And it says, how big? This one right here, notice the difference. Photograph, 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 photograph. Beautiful photographs. Photograph? Photograph? Are, is this a photograph? Right, great. It's not, right? It's an illustration. Somebody drew this illustration, but somebody took those pictures. Somebody had a camera and took pictures of those 4 spiders, but somebody drew this one. Sometimes writers do that, and authors of books also do that. Sometimes they will mix both illustrations, and then they will also add real photographs. Some spiders work in groups to catch food. They weave webs together. The webs are so big they can cover a tree. The giant web can trap prey that is 10 times bigger than the spider. Oh, look at that. The writer wants us to visualize, right? To make a picture. Visualize just means make a picture in your mind, in your brain. And visualize a tree covered completely, its branches, not the trunk, because it doesn't look like the spider covers a trunk, but it covers the top of the tree, the branches, with the web. Look at that. That's what this paragraph says that some spiders do. Some spiders create a very, very large web that covers the top of a tree, like a blanket, right? That reminds me of a blanket. My brain helped me remember that. And that was the end of our article today. Now, I want you to stop and think about it. We were gathering and collecting facts in our brain. Remember at the beginning of this video, I said we were going to pretend like our brain was a little bucket and we were going to be gathering up some facts in our bucket? Well, I want you to stop. Close your eyes if you can. If you don't want to close your eyes, that's okay. You can leave your eyes open, but I do want you to think about your favorite fact. Was it a fact about the trapdoor spider? Was it a fact about the water spider? Maybe it was a fact about the jumping spider, the crab spider right there. Or maybe it was this last paragraph right here. The fact that some spiders make a very, very large web that covers a tree, except the trunk. Ready? Let's stop together. I'm going to keep my eyes open this time. Think about your favorite fact. You got it? Good. Now, for your writing activity, what can we do with what we just learned? Remember, we always have to find a way to be able to show or to write, to tell somebody what we just learned. So this is what these are some of the things that you can do with what you just learned. Let me pull out my dry erase marker. I have it here in my pocket. I can gather up facts. That was our objective for today. You can write about your favorite fact and why it was your favorite fact. And this is just a sample starter sentence. My favorite fact about spiders was blank. So you can copy what I just wrote and just fill in the blank. And then don't forget, explain why. Why was that particular one your favorite fact? So you would have to say, it was my favorite because it was my favorite because, oh, my board is shaking a lot. Because, why? That's one sample. That's one sample writing activity that you can do. You can write about your favorite fact, or I'm going to draw a line right there. I love to divide up my sections. Or you can make a web. Do you know how to make a web? Spiders make webs. I'm going to show you how to make a web. I'm gonna write right here in the middle the word spiders. Oops. Spiders. Then, after I write my nice word, spiders, I'm gonna circle it. I'm gonna draw a circle around it. I wrote the word spiders in here in the middle because we learned about spiders. If this was an article about bears and I wanted to make a web about bears, about the facts that I learned, my title would be what? That's right, bears. But because I learned, or we together learned about spiders, spiders goes right there. Now, I'm gonna draw a line and I'm gonna think about one fact, maybe about the trapdoor spider, then another one about this, the water spider, and then maybe one about this one, maybe one about that one, and guess what? They don't have to be in order. They can be in any different order. But what can I say about the water spider? I can go back, reread, and write something about the water spider right there. I can say water spiders make bubble webs. Right there in the text. I'm not making it up, right? It's right there in the text. Remember? Facts only, not opinions, just facts. Facts, facts. And the water spider makes a bubble web. And after writing it, oh, forgot my punctuation there. After writing it, I can draw a line about my fact. Do you see how it's looking? That is what we call the web. And this web is about spiders. This one, this fact right here is about the water spider. So I can even underline that one if I wanted to. And then I can write a fact about a different spider that I learned. And then I can write another one, and maybe another one. And I can always, as I'm working on any one of those writing activities, I can always go back and reread what the text was. The good thing about this video is that if you choose to do one of those two writing activities, you can go back and replay this video. And together, read it one more time, or you can hear me read it, or you can read it yourself, right? And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something new about spiders. But if you already knew all these facts about spiders, I want you to think about how can you learn something different about spiders. Maybe ask mom and dad if they know another interesting fact about spiders. And always remember, writing is amazing, but if you draw a picture and you label it too, you're also writing. You're also showing what you know. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, I will see you back here at the Book Adventure with Mrs. Mayoro. Have a great, great day. Thank you.